things that are going to get us to where we need to be. All right, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I officially have my mic on. What's up? What's up? And then we got our Instagram people over here on the side. And today we are going to have millionaire talks around our mindset around earning money, earning more. And I am speaking, y'all know my grandpa, my rich uncle. I guess in the terms of today, he's like my rich uncle, right? Rich uncle, Grandpa Les. I was reading his book, You Got to Be Hungry. And if you all haven't gotten that book, I really suggest that every entrepreneur, someone that's on a journey to chasing their dreams, that they get it and they read about it, because I think it is absolutely important. And in this conversation today, I'm gonna also intertwine my recent experience of my travel to Atlanta and how these concepts definitely mesh, and that you see that these are things that you should be incorporating within your business today. So, hey, y'all, welcome to the conversation. Go ahead and get those good Money Making Monday books out and take down your notes, because I do have some things that I am going to challenge you with today. Because again, you will never come across my path and not be challenged. For those of you all who are just meeting me for this first time, my name is Starshima. What's up, girl? I am a registered nurse and I am the nurse coach. And what I do is I help nurses package up their experience, their education, and their expertise, and start a premium coaching practice to transition from bedside nurses. So welcome here. All right, so let's just jump into the content, because I want to respect y'all's time today, and get everything moving. On Instagram, type 1 if you can hear me okay, and on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and type 1 in the chat box if you can hear me okay. I just want to make sure my mics are queued up. By all means, I wouldn't want this to get to my assistant and it just don't have any audio on it. I will be upset about that, right? All right, so Grandpa, let's talk about Grandpa Les. And I absolutely love Les Brown. And Les was talking about that it is really the time to really have the mindset of an entrepreneur, right? The mindset of an entrepreneur. And control our own personal economy, and be a job creator, right? And make your impact in the world. And I think these are 4 big things that I want to talk about today around Millionaire Money Making Monday. Is these are 4 key components that we all need to really grow, level, and scale and reach the capacity that we are. So if you're an entrepreneur already, type 1 in the chat box. If you're an aspiring entrepreneur, type 2 in the chat box. And 3, if you're here just to get the tea because you want to know what life looks like and leveling up, and perhaps this could be a conversation that inspires you to your next level, just let me know who I got in the room with me. All right, so let's talk about this. To have a mindset of an entrepreneur, right? These are the things that, thinking about where we're going, we really have to have a mindset of an entrepreneur. And I just want to lay the prefaces for you that having a mindset of an entrepreneur, and I know these out here on these internet streets, that people make it look really well. And when you think about being an entrepreneur, you see people who are entrepreneurs. Many of you are following people who are absolutely crushing it. And I respect that, right? They're millionaires, they're billionaires, absolutely amazing individuals going out and doing their thing. But one thing that sometimes we lose, that we see, because we don't get the beginning of their journey, we get the part of where they're winning, right? And you don't know what it looks like to start from A to get all the way to Z. And honestly, they're probably not at the end of their game. They're still working and growing. And one big highlight that I just want to take out about having a mindset of an entrepreneur is the mindset of being patient. Oh, somebody write that down in y'all notebook. Write that down in y'all notebook. Okay, I see my 1s and 2s on Instagram. Write that down in your notebook, right? Having a mindset of being patient. Because what we see and how these internet streets got it set up is that these internet streets make us feel like that we can be an entrepreneur today and that we're going to win, and by tomorrow we're going to be a millionaire. Not true, right? Do you know what the average time that it is for someone to build a brand? Somebody drop it in the chat box. Let me know. I want to know if y'all know. What is the average time for an entrepreneur to build a brand, or a person to build a brand? On average, it's about 10 years. So with the 10 years, it says you got to have a mindset of being patient, but not just in the mindset of being patient. A mindset of being patient doesn't mean stopping, right? I want you to stop and think about right now. When you look at your life right now, is this a life that you prayed for? Hmm. Are you at a space right now that you've prayed for? If you reflect back to where you were 5 years ago, 6 years ago, are you in the same space? Probably not. I had to have that aha moment this morning. And again, no matter where you are on your journey, you have to pause and have those aha moments. I had to stop and just get really, really grateful, right? Because I felt like sometimes I lose my patience. Type 3 in the chat box on this journey of entrepreneurship. You lose your patience. And I had to remember that I'm not where I used to be, right? I think about this weekend, I remember, and I'm just going, y'all come with me for a minute. I'm going to take y'all with me on a journey. But I remember, shoot, all right, I turned 42 on the 3rd. And I remember 20 something years ago, I used to struggle with where am I going to find the coin to invite my friends so that we can all go have dinner? Like, I guess y'all didn't pick that up. Like, where was I going to find the money to get with my friends so that we can go and celebrate me? I'm just being real with y'all, right? That's where I was 20 years ago, 20 years old. I didn't have much, right? I was probably trying to find my way, get into college. Maybe I wasn't even in college at that time. And then I look about where I am today, and I'm still haven't reached my mark yet. Y'all follow me here. And so this birthday, I decided to buy myself a VIP ticket to a conversation that I felt like I should be at. I booked a flight. I took the trip. Now, how much I spend, that don't matter. But it definitely wasn't that I was finding the $20 to $30 to go eat. And I think about that, and it wasn't that it came with a struggle, right? I was able to do it. And that's what patience look like, right? That's what mindset look like of waiting, right? Having a mindset of an entrepreneur and being patient with this thing that you have and being grateful with where you are and giving yourself the permission to fail along the way. Oh, I guess that's for somebody. Somebody picked that up. But that is so important. Okay. The second thing is to create and control your own personal economy. And if COVID didn't shake things up for you, I think COVID and any type of recession and any type of disruption in the space like this, you look at the last fallout, how many millionaires was made and billionaires were made. Even right now, secondary to COVID, what we found is because we gave so many people the opportunity to feed us, right? That when they no longer could feed us anymore, we could no longer eat. Oh, I guess maybe y'all didn't experience that. So when a person says, hey, come work for me and I can feed you, and then once everything dries up for them, they can no longer feed you anymore because they can't feed themselves, what do you do? The question is, what do you do? So it's time for you to start creating that wealth and building your own personal economy. Are you setting yourself up in that way? Right? Okay. And I'm going to share with you some ways in how you can do that. Just stay with me here. Okay. And be a job creator. So instead of you as a person that is going to be hired by other people, which people are going to hire you, but go and create the jobs to where you're hiring other people out into the market. Okay. And then the fourth thing is make your impact. And this is the big thing. Y'all know my magic is helping women build their brands, helping them build their personal brands. Go out and unleash your impact in the world. Like, for some reason, we're so disconnected to think that everybody else gets to unleash their impact in the world, but we're not worthy of it. And it's time for you to make your impact. I tell my people who come into the personal brand for coaches with and work alongside me, and one of the things of like when they're trying to discover what their brand is, understanding what is your legacy. If someone was reading your obituary today, and I hate to be so harsh, but I tell them this is the only way that I can explain it to them. If someone was reading your obituary today, like what would they say about you? Right? What would be the things that they would say? And that's your impact. Like that will your legacy that will live far beyond your years here on earth. So being clear about that. So those are the four big things. So here's my question to you. This is where things start to get real, texturize. And when you think about really making and putting strategies into place that's going to help you grow, you have to always self reflect, right? And you have to do some inner work about it. So let me ask you, what is your strategy? Like, what's your strategy for being here? Are you building a strategy to build your own personal economy? Are you building a strategy to increase your mindset or to grow your mindset as an entrepreneur? What's your strategy for making a greater impact in the world? Right? Let me just share with you what what I seen this weekend, and this was absolutely amazing, mind blowing. I'll come and share with you all bits and pieces. I think I am still trying to digest it all myself. But from this weekend, one of the most amazing things that I was able to see was one, community, and community of next level women coming together with like-mindedness, right? Who are leaning in and driving impact in the world in their various industries. Some industries overlapped, some did not. But I think the most amazing thing was to see these individuals really releasing their impact out in the world. The second biggest things is seeing my nurse friends, because when we went to school to become a nurse, the expectation and what they taught us in nursing school was get your nursing degree, you go out, you work in a hospital, and you drive impact, right? But what I seen was nurses who nursed and nursed well and are out here driving impact in the world. They took their education, they took their experience, their expertise, and mixed it with their passion, and out here driving impact. Now, the event that I went to wasn't marketed towards nurses. This was marketed towards women who was ready for a wealthish type of conversation. So multiple different backgrounds, but so surprisingly that there was more than a handful of women in the room who were nurses and was creating their own personal economies for themselves. These were women who were creating jobs for others, making their impact, and definitely entrepreneurial mindset. And I was just like, wow, wow, and wow, right? And this is what makes me so passionate about the work that I do and the space that I do it in, and helping nurses as well as female entrepreneurs really unleash their impact in the world, right? Because society says these are the things that we should do, right? But what are the things that I want to do? How am I putting my stamp on life and doing the things that I should do, right? And these women, I'm sure they all came up with some type of strategy to hit those four key points. And it was just absolutely amazing to watch. And when you build these wealthish type of relationships, right, with women who are walking in their spaces and understanding their magic, it's just powerful, right? Just in one day and 2 days and some hours that we spent together before my flight landed in Fresno, I was already getting text messages. Was I here? Was I safe? And these were women that I've met just hours and hours ago, right? And spent hours with, whereas some people that I've known for years didn't care if I landed safely or not, or at least they didn't text me to say so. So conversations and things look different when you surround yourself in these type of spaces of next level people who are building their own economies, unleashing their impact in the world, being job creators, and are very entrepreneurial type mindset. Okay. So now I'm going to give you the actionable things because I won't be here before you long because I respect your time. So the thing is now, when you think about, you understand what's your strategy. Okay. What is my strategy for being here? And if you don't have a strategy, let's talk about it. Um, the thing is now let's challenge yourself, because to hit those four things that I talked about in here about what's going to help you grow, level, and scale, then you need to know what are some areas, right? To create your personal economy, you should probably know where should you be playing at, right? What are some of the things that you should be doing? And I recommend that you find three things that you're really, really good at. Right? You put them like in a list, just jot them down. What are three things that I'm really good at that you can get paid from? And then out of those three, prioritize them. Prioritize, just like we prioritize our nursing care, our nursing interventions, right, for our patients, our nursing diagnoses for them. Think about, where's the area I should play strong. Like, say, for instance, let me give you an example. You make the best sweet potato pies. It's going to be Thanksgiving, y'all. And I need me a good sweet potato pie. But let's think about that. Like, one of your things is, I'm a baker, right? Is on your list. And you bake really well. And the thing about what you bake really well is a sweet potato pie, right? Can you get paid for baking a sweet potato pie? Like, is your sweet potato pie better than Aunt Patty's? Just asking. Because Aunt Patty's is in Walmart. Is yours better? Right? Aunt Patty's does a good job, and Aunt Patty's is in Walmart. So, how is yours, right? Is that something that you can really, really get good at? I mean, that you're good at, and you just need to double down on it, and it can get you paid. Perhaps so, right? I mean, you could be across all these different store chains. Perhaps you're a nurse. Let's think about this. You're a nurse, and you're really good at mental health coaching, right? You're really good. That was your area of expertise. You do really good at working your clients through when they're cycling, whatever that looks like. And you really have a passion for driving it. That's a core, like, that's one of the core things that you should be focused on to help drive your own personal economy, right? How can I package up my magic and get my magic in front of the people who need it, right? So what are these things? These are the actionable things. Let me tell you, Oprah is no better than you. Tony Robbins is no better than you. The only thing that those two decided to do was to execute on those core competencies. I told y'all when I went to go see Oprah in 2022, this was a big takeaway, and I think I shared it with a young lady this weekend, is when I went to see Oprah in 2022, sitting in an arena of 14,000 people, my rich auntie, she was talking to me, right? Rich auntie was talking to me. And I didn't care who else was in there, but it was me and Rich Auntie's conversation. But one thing she helped me see, and this is about being patient. If you haven't watched the beginning of this, go back and watch the beginning, about being patient as an entrepreneur. Oprah talked about when she first started out, she was going to like it was someone that was rich, and she was going to do some work for them, and she was going to their house, right? And she would look out their window in their kitchen, and she would see trees. And her going into the environment and her seeing the trees made her dream, right? And this is so important. This is so important of why it's so good to get in spaces that we haven't seen before. But because it allows us to be able to dream and give us something to push and aspire to. This is an entrepreneur type of mindset, right? So she said she looked out the window, and she said she prayed, and she told God, like, God, when I get there, like, basically I want to look out my window, I want to have trees. And I think she said at the time that it was only 6 trees, right? 6 trees. And then let me tell y'all about as the dream, when you begin to take action, right? Because I said Oprah's no different than us. Tony is no different than us. But what they decided to do was take action and didn't let up, right? They didn't let the failures stop them. They kept going. So she said, because I'm rich. She's still in that stage, y'all. And she said it proudly. She wasn't arrogant. I love when women can talk about money, right? She's like, because I'm rich, I now got somebody to go out there and count my trees. And I think, don't quote me, but it was in the thousands of how many trees she has. So she started with this dream that she's seen, right? And it was 6 trees. And that was her prayers, that I want 6 trees. But as she began to continue to go, and before Oprah was Oprah, who she is today, right, that we know, but the struggling Oprah to get to where she was, she only wanted 6 trees, y'all. And now she got thousands and thousands of trees. But it's because she gave herself the opportunity to continue to go. She gave herself permission to fail. She gave herself permission to dust her knees off and get back up again, right? And so that was one thing that really, really stuck with me. And as I shared with y'all, 20 years ago, I struggled to find $20 to go with my friends to celebrate me, to now I'm taking trips and sitting in premium seating um, without it being an issue. And it's because the dream didn't stop, right? It's because I'm continuing to work at it. So those are the things that I wanted to share. So looking at, when you talk about money, when you talk about millionaire money and mindset. You got to have the mindset of it. You have to start showing up and start thinking and start doing the things even long before you have it. Because if you continue to do the things that you're doing right now, it will not get you there. So you have to adjust your belief system, right? Get it, resetting your new mindset, right? Going out and taking action towards the things and being consistent with them and giving yourself permission to fail if you need to, right? To be able to create your own personal economy, whatever that looks like for you, diversify your money, and be a job creator. Like, I think one of my biggest things and one of the most powerful things I feel like I am able to do, like both of my assistants, they are women, right? And they are helping me build my brands. And I think that that is powerful because they are able to work in their magic and help me leverage my magic where I'm not weak at. And then we both all win in the end. So I think that those things are powerful. All right. So again, looking at challenge yourself, identify what are your core competencies. If you're struggling with how can I make money? How do I build my own personal economy right now? You got to start thinking about what do I have at my disposal that is not outside of me, that is either through my education, my experience, and my expertise, something that I've worked myself through that I can help somebody else collapse their time to be able to work through. These are the things that you need to start thinking about, are core things that you need to have in your toolkit. Here's the big thing that I want to leave you with, right? You are your greatest asset to you. You are the greatest asset that you have, right? And it's important that you invest in you, and investing you, and an investment looks different, right? It can be so many different layers of investment. Some people think automatically when they hear investment, all they hear is money. Yes, some investments do take money, right? Some investments are time. Some investments are sacrifices, right? Some investments is just putting the effort and the ability to be able to take action in them. Some of you all have a lot of the tools that you need to succeed already, to change your financial landscape, to be your own personal economy. You have it already at your disposal. If you packaged up those three competencies that you outlined there, what is the endless possibility that you can have in the world, right? So investing you at a premium level, right? And not allow scarcity, not allow your current situation to determine your future. That's why I call it, again, millionaire money making mindset. I will be the first generation millionaire in my family. And I got to walk like it. I got to talk like it long before I even have it. Some people say fake it till you make it. I like to tell you to show up, right? Start showing up as her. Believe, visualize your highest self, and then show up as her is the biggest thing. So walk like you got it. Talk like you got it. Serve like you got it, right? And leverage these three big things to help you grow. So that is my reflection of Atlanta this past weekend, and incorporating it into these four big things that my grandpa, my rich grandpa, said that we should have. And that's really, we live in a time where we should have an entrepreneur mindset, and we should have it because if we give people the opportunity to feed us, we give them the opportunity to starve us. And it has already happened. Look at what's happened over the last 2 years. The second thing is you need to be your own economy. You need to know what are the things that you have in your kit right now, in your kit of life, that is going to create your own personal economy. So security is going to go away one day. What are you going to do? 403Bs are going to deplete one day. What are you going to do? 401ks aren't as solid as what they need to be. What are you doing to help build that wealth for your family, right? Go out and create jobs for other people, right? And the biggest thing, you are the greatest asset in your company. Go out and drive the impact in the world. Share your story with people, right? Connect with people. And this is so important. I dropped the statistic today on my um, social handles. Did you know that 82% of Americans buy from companies where they've either connected, followed, or felt like they knew the CEO of the company? That's your impact. That's your brand. as your personal brand. So if you're interested in building your personal brand, driving a greater impact out in the world, elevating and amplifying your impact, your influence, and income, come and work with me. Apply to work with me, www.iamstarshima.com/build my brand. Fill out a short application. My team will get back to you. We'll get you on the calendar and see if you and I are a great fit. But there's so much out here in the world for you to do. And it's time for you to get hella intentional about your next level and go out and crush it. Here's another episode on Millionaire Money Making Mondays with your girl Starshima, the nurse coach, helping you turn your education, your experience, and your expertise into your own personal economy. Until we chat again, have a great week.